starting broadcast, and then double tap to flip camera.
Mm-hmm.
Ah! Hello, everybody. We're just having some technical issues. Starting live video, it says on Facebook as well. Hello, everybody. I'm feeling like the Olympics today. We've got a simulcast. So yeah, Julie Breen and the Olympics. Julie Breen from IntelliSight Opticians, like the Olympics, simulcasting. Hello, everybody on Twitter and on Facebook. Now today we've haven't everybody noticed that it's got a little bit colder and a little bit wintry. Sam's a bit Christmassy. She likes Christmas, so she's getting all excited in there behind the camera. Oh no, yeah, in front of the camera. You wait. Next week it'll be baubles in her for earrings and stuff like that. I'm just giving her ideas. Anyway, I mumble and I witter on. I'm talking today about changes that have kind of taken place in the seasons, as you know, we're getting on to winter, and things around winter that we need to address often with regards to eyes. Oh, just as a little aside, Marcia, who also works with me, a work colleague, has just, last week, mentioned that I say a lot. It's because this isn't scripted, it's just me wittering on. So that's why we get lots of It's natural. Irritating, probably all the but natural. Anyway, I witter on once more. So we're going to talk about changes that take place around winter, changes in the lighting and things you might be noticing. So first thing, we'll go indoors first. So have a look at my list. Okay, yes, dark rooms and stuff like that. Often people get, they've got these really big screen tellies and you like that kind of big screen experience. So you turn all the lights off in the room and have it dark. It's not really a good idea. If you've got the pictures, you often leave the pictures with a bit of a headache. And that's because you get something called contrast glare, because the screen's really bright and then you're sitting in a dark room. What you tend to find is you get the same effect if you have a dark room and you're watching like a big screen telly. You don't really want a headache every night. What I would suggest is you have the screen and the room about the same brightness. It doesn't have to be glaringly bright, not like my test room, which is like ridiculous because it's a test room. But a light that makes the room and the screen about the same brightness. You'll avoid getting a headache. You'll still feel like you're having kind of a cinema experience, but at home, which it is. So try not to have the room is really dark when you've got the screen on, a telly on. The other thing that people might be finding at this time of year is lighting does tend to change. So maybe this time last year when you were starting to read, you might have gone, that's a little bit out of focus, and then looked again and it was in focus. Great. During the summer, the light's really good, so you don't notice that your vision's maybe changing a little bit. Now we've come back into winter again, and you might be starting to read and going like, I really can't see that. There's nothing unnatural happening. It's a natural change within your eyes. You might need some reading glasses and you might need to come and see me. It's irritating. Reading glasses and needing reading glasses is a bit irritating. Natural, normal. Come in and see me. I'll sort you out. Other things that might be happening at this time of year. Oh, driving at night. Yes, driving at night. We'll all notice that the lights are coming in. I can't believe it. Like the sun goes down at like 6:20 now. And I was at a meeting this morning that started at 7:30 and the sun had only just risen as we got through the door. It's just like, it's not natural. Well, it is clearly natural, but anyway, we've got so used to summer, haven't we? So what you'll notice when you're driving at night, in the dark, either in the morning, kind of pre-dawn or post-sunset, is that there's a lot of glare around street lights, headlights, and also what you tend to find is that if it's rained, you get double that, so you get like 2 street lights and you get all sorts of things. Tons of glare. We can sort that out. You can have a pair of glasses, a pair of lenses with something called an anti-reflection treatment on it. I could geek out and tell you how it works. It's very interesting. One of these days I'll actually post on something like, maybe it's on YouTube, how it works. It's dead clever. It's all about the light behaving as a wave. I won't bore you. I won't geek out just at the moment. But anyway, it works. It works really well. And so we can get lenses that have this anti-reflection treatment on. I've got an anti-reflection treatment on mine. You can see the purpliness. Now I've got a very special anti-reflection treatment that helps me with screens and the blue light from screens. Most anti-reflection treatments don't have this kind of purplish bloom. It's a lot less noticeable. and it probably works a lot better when you're driving at night. This, as I say, is a very specialist one that stops me getting problems with the light that comes out of computers, and it means that it doesn't affect my sleep patterns, and I may well talk about that at some other time. I love anti-reflection treatments. They're great. And sunglasses, that's another thing we're speaking about. Now, I've been talking about dark, sitting in the dark, having problems in the dark, and then I'm going to be talking about sunglasses. Now, the thing about winter sun is that it's so much lower than the summer sun. So when it's high up in the sky, it's bright, but it's not going to be particularly problematic. Now, I've got a little story to tell you. Now, some years ago, I was asked to work in Scarborough, and I live on the northeast coast, so I'm living further up the north. I was actually living in Saltburn at the time. So to drive from Saltburn to Scarborough, you drive into the sunrise, and it was November time, so I was actually driving at dawn, and the sun effectively rises where the road is straight ahead of you, and it had been raining. It's one of those days where it had rained overnight, and then the sky had cleared, so the sky was completely clear, sun was coming up, and the road was basically wet, and you couldn't see that when it was like liquid sun on the road. It was so debilitating, you really couldn't see where you were going, but you had to look straight ahead at the sun because that's where you were going. Now, I have a pair of sunglasses, and they're called polarizing sunglasses, and they're absolutely amazing. What polarizers do, I don't need to tell fishermen about polarizers because they know all about it. What polarizers do is they get rid of reflected light. So any sunlight that's bounced off anything, it completely cuts it out. And that means that if you're fishing, you can see the fish under the water because all the reflections disappear. But if you're driving and the light that from the sun has bounced off the road, it cuts all that out as well. So I was driving along, squinting like mad, put my sunglasses on, and the road came back, all that liquid light disappeared, and I could see so many people coming to, well, kind of passing me or on the road, kind of driving like this, and I was like, ah. So polarizing sunglasses for driving in the winter are amazing. Polarizing sunglasses are amazing in any case, but for winter driving, winter sun, they're really good because the sun is so much lower and it's so much more debilitating. It's shining directly in your face. So if you're driving towards the sunset, it does the same thing. If you're driving towards sunrise, and the sun never really gets particularly high, so it can always be really quite debilitating. And all that UV light that we get in the summer, it's cut down a little bit because the sun's a little bit weaker because we're a bit further away from it, but it's at that angle where it hits your eyes rather than your brows, protecting you from the higher light. So sunglasses are really, really important. And the last thing I was going to touch on today is skiing, because it's that kind of winter time, isn't it, when we all think, well, I don't know whether we all think about it, I don't. My knees are shot now, so I don't do any of that malarkey anymore. However, there are those of us who like skiing, and eye protection when you're skiing is really, really important as well. Now, we have a range of sunglasses called Julbo. They have some amazing lenses in their range. Now, this lens is called Chameleon. Now, this does two things. It's polarizing, and I've touched upon what polarizing does already, and it's photochromic as well. So it goes from this, which is actually the lightest it goes, and you can just about see my finger through it, to it's like, they call it glacier. So it's dark enough to stop you getting the reflection off a glacier bothering you, and it's absolutely amazing. I'm going to show you another one that Julbo do as well. It's crazy. It's a retro one. It's a little bit like a pair of sunglasses that, is a racing driver. What's he called? Formula One racing driver, Sam.
Eddie Irvine.
No.
Eddie Jordan?
No, current.
Oh, Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis, that's him. And you should know. Lewis Hamilton, he's got a pair of these. Look at them. They've got curly sides. Very retro. They're actually a kind of a remake of the first model that Julbo made, because they're a French firm and they've been around for over 100 years, and this is the kind of a remake of what they first made. The lenses are amazing. They are, again, glacier lenses. Really, really comfortable as well. No bridge, but the way they're constructed, they're really comfortable. So it's kind of a homage in French to their original frame. So there we go. We've sold a few of those because people like Lewis Hamilton. So that's all I wanted to talk about today, really, kind of winter sun and changes that take place in the light during the winter. So we get more bothered by reading. If we're having some reading problems, it becomes more difficult. Don't watch the telly in the dark too much because you can give yourself a headache. Who wants a headache? We've talked about winter sun and, what else? Oh, yes. Sam's pointing website at me. So yeah, winter sun and what else was I talking about? What was the middle bit? It was dark rooms, driving glare. Yes, glare, anti-reflection treatments. Now, if you're fancying a new pair of glasses and you would like to have a look at some frames before you come into store, we have a website. It is www.intellisightopticians, that's all one word, .co.uk. And we have a shop on there as well with some frames. It doesn't have our whole range loaded up onto it, but it has the ones that are a little bit different. And if you want to look a bit different and don't want to look at like everybody else, have a look at those frames. So yeah, it's been great talking to you about, well, you know, this meeting we go to in the morning, there's a gardener that goes, there's winter's coming, and now I'm getting the same, I'm saying winter's coming as well, but it is, you can notice, you can sniff it in the air, you can see the conkers on the ground, it's coming and we need to get prepared for it. So this is Julie Breen talking about changes in light, making the best of winter light, and hopefully I will see you again next week. Julie Breen from Telesight Opticians saying, bye everybody, bye. Now I have to turn off. Finish. Oh.